I'd like Bet Sykes to have sex with Alfred Pennyworth because we're both in relationships and we're not allowed to do it unless it's on camera.
My apologies. Thursday night's always a bit naughty.
I didn't know a huge amount about comics. I obviously knew about Batman and about Alfred from films and so on, but I didn't know an awful lot. This happened like anything else, you know. An email landed in my inbox and I read the description of the show and thought, oh, they're going to make a show about the butler, really, not the superhero. But read the script and then immediately was like, okay, they're onto something here. And then just went through a very long and arduous audition process that was full of ups and downs and ultimately
resulted in you going. Can't remember what the question was.
I think we all, like Jack said, I think we all were very excited about the world that they were creating. So Danny Cannon and Bruno had a kind of known for being world builders. They obviously were responsible for Gotham and previous series as well. So on page 3 of the script, Bruno does this amazing outline of the world he's going to set it in, and that was immediately exciting. He talks about this kind of London set in the 1960s that's 13 degrees weirder and twisted and more macabre and dark, and very specific about all the kind of like monuments, the different London monuments, and what the world would involve and how unpredictable it is. And I think we all, by the time you got to the bottom of page 3, you were like, oh, I want to be in this. So that's what attracted, I think, all of us to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking on Blair's behalf.
It's best that way.
Well, I think the 60s were cool enough anyway,
No.
and then this is a DC 60s, so, you know, we sort of had great fun mucking about and being like, what if it was like this, and what if, you know, this had happened, and things in England had been a little bit different. But in terms of things being challenging, I mean, you just, all the clothes are great, all the cars are great, it was a lot of fun.
I think aesthetically it's the world that I wish that I lived in anyway. And I think one of the reasons why I may have got the part is because I do kind of exist in the 60s. So, like, I filmed my audition at home and it looks like the 60s, and I have all the clothes, and I put a wig on that was like a bit 60s, and then they were like, how did you do that? Did you hire somewhere? And I was like, no, that's just my house.
I didn't get your name. Pennyworth.
Thomas Wayne. I have security needs.
Yeah, they said to me in audition early on that they wanted him to feel like Cary Grant, so that was quite a kind of like pointed steer about how he should sound, because those 1950s film stars had a very specific way of talking, and they all each had a very individual accent. That was something their brand was part of, their voice was part of their brand kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I would try to be as specific as possible, but without, some of them sounded crazy, like Katharine Hepburn. You wouldn't believe that anyone could really speak like that. So tried to do a subtle version of what it was that they were all kind of going for in the 50s. But you guys had voices and accents as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I think mine was informed by the period, also by Michael Caine a little bit. Yeah, and people sort of tended to speak a bit slower then, I think.
Which was great for me, because I naturally speak quite slowly.
But you've got a real accent, haven't you?
Yeah, so mine's the north of England. But I mean, yeah, I lived there for a while, so it was quite easy for me to do, because I spent the whole time that I lived there impersonating people, much to their distaste.
I didn't know you were doing an accent, and of course you're an actual Cockney, so when we got to the read-through, I was like, oh, of course, it's going to be great. And then I was like, oh, right.
Yeah,
you're
so I'm
actually
like,
the only one.
loads of people in, like, I think I'm the only real Cockney in the show, like actual...
Maybe Simon Day.
Yes, me and Simon Day, but I'm playing a northern character, so... A lot of the actors who are in the show are actually northern playing Cockney, so we swapped.
Things go pear-shaped. I'll do my best to keep you alive.
I think for me, Thomas, we know that he ends up as ultimately this kind of upstanding citizen. and essentially good. I'd quite like him to kind of lean into...
Slip off the slope.
Yeah, slip off the slope. He's found in some very morally compromising situations throughout Series 1. I think Series 2, and if there are more than that, I'd like him to kind of slip into the dark side, I think, and find his way back to the light. But for him to go darker, I'd enjoy that.
I'd like Bet Sykes to have sex with Alfred Pennyworth because we're both in relationships and we're not allowed to do it unless it's on camera.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Jack, you can't top that answer, to be honest. You might as well not answer it.
What she said.